Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. On the mound for the Tigers today is Bert Blyleven, whose record is 2-0 with a 3.91 ERA. And pitching for the Boston Red Sox is John Tudor, whose record is 2-0 with a 6.64 ERA. Okay, another slugfest yesterday. The final score was 8-6. It really wasn't as close as the score might show. The Red Sox scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to make it look close. And in fact, they did have the tying run at the plate, but Dave Smith was good enough to close it down, and we'll take another victory. We jump over 500, I think, for the first time all season. So far. So it's good to at least have a moment here to shine. And if we can beat the Red Sox today, we will have a day off tomorrow. And that is good news because if you don't remember, Jack Morris, pardon me, Jack Morris had a elbow inflammation for 5 days. And because of the day off, that means he won't miss a start. We just push him back a day, and he will make his next start in that rotation series. So that's the good news. No big deal there for Jack. We'll just push him back one day. And also, George Brett is listed as tired for us today, and we're going to play him anyway because with the day off tomorrow, that'll give him the rest that he needs. So that's going to do it. We're going to move on to today's game then. I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe. Don't forget we have the contest for the Paul Gibson crotch grab. I don't think I've said the word crotch on the internet so many times. Thanks to Paul Gibson and his crotch grab card. You can win that from us. Here, just let me know in the comments that you want to enter the contest and be a subscriber. That's all I ask. Okay, so Bert Blyleven, the current Red Sox lineup is batting .241 against him. All the bullpen is available except for Paul Gibson, who gave up those 4 runs in the 8th inning. We sent him back. He pitched 2 innings. The first inning he pitched great. Second inning we brought him back out to wrap up the ball game, and he gave up those 4 runs. That was not helpful at all. Let's take a look at our lineup. Versus John Tudor. It's the same as yesterday. We're going to go right back to the same lineup, and Lance Parrish had a great game yesterday, so maybe he can continue down that path, and Glenn Wilson hit his 3rd home run. George Brett hit his 2nd home run, so this is definitely an offensive park, and with another lefty on the mound, I feel pretty good about it. Let's take a look at the Tigers' official lineup rundown. Batting leadoff, playing left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting second at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third at third base is George Brett. Batting cleanup in right field is Glenn Wilson. Batting fifth and DHing is Ken Smith. Batting sixth in center field is Chet Lemon. Batting seventh, playing first base is Greg Brock. Batting eighth and catching is Lance Parrish. And batting ninth is the second baseman, Sweet Lou Whitaker. Okay, John Tudor on the mound. We did a deep dive on John Tudor. He is a 3rd-round draft pick in 1976 for Boston out of Georgia Southern. He won a World Series in 1988. That was the Kirk Gibson World Series with the Dodgers. In that World Series, he did make 1 start. He went 1 in the 3rd innings. It was a bullpen game, and the Dodgers won that ball game. In 1985, he led the Cardinals in all of baseball with 10 shutouts. He also was a league leader in WHIP with a 0.93 WHIP, and he finished second in the Cy Young voting that year to, of course, Dwight Gooden, who went 24-4 as a rookie. The interesting thing about the 1985 season, he won 21 games that year, but he started 1-7. He ended up winning 20 of his last 21 decisions, and the 10 shutouts that he pitched that year he's the last pitcher to pitch double-digit shutouts in a season. In real life in 1984, Boston traded him to Pittsburgh for Mike Easler. He went 12-11 with a 3.27 ERA for the Pirates that season. So there's a little bit of background on John Tudor. We'll take a look at his log here real quick to get his total numbers accurate. He is 2-0 this year with a 6.64 ERA. He's got 13 strikeouts in 20 1/3 innings pitched. He's not a strikeout pitcher. Even when he was pitching 200 innings in real life, he barely made it over 100 strikeouts. Opponents are batting .268 against him. He does not have a complete game this year. His fastball tops out at 88 miles an hour, and that is his best pitch, also rated at 88. A slider that's at 80, and a curveball at 79. So really, 3 average pitches, which is good for this game. Overall rated, an 86. The 30-year-old lefty goes to free agency in 1985. Okay. Last year, I think this is interesting too. If you look at what he's done in our sim, in 1981, he was an all-star. He led the American League in wins with 15. That was the strike-shortened year. He was the ALCS MVP and the Cy Young Award winner. They signed him to a 1-year extension that year for $620,000. And then the following year, he was an all-star, and they signed him to a 4-year deal in which he got a $10,000 bump. And what did he do? He went out and won 20 games last year for Boston. So just some interesting sim stats for you there. Okay, let's take a look at the defense for the Red Sox. Right field and left field, both below league averages. Jimmy Rice and Clint Hurdle out there in right. Pretty good everywhere else. The catcher is PETRALLI today, so we're seeing him for the second time this series. It was John Stearns yesterday. Okay, Gibby leading off versus John Tudor. Gibson batting .318 with a home run this year. And Tudor strikes him out on a curveball. 1 down. That's going to bring up Alan Trammell. Trammell's got a home run in his career. Versus John Tudor. He lines it to left, and it falls in for a single. We could go for 2. It's a 50-50 shot. I mean, on the visual here, it showed the ball was almost to the wall, and yet here it's showing it like right there, and that's where I think the discrepancy comes into place. It's a 50-50 shot. Can Trammell get to second base, even though Jim Rice has a terrible arm? I don't know. I mean, it's probably not worth it. It's the first inning, and we've got some of our better hitters coming up, including George Brett, who is listed as tired, as I mentioned, but he had such a good ball game yesterday. He had 3 hits. He hit a home run, and a ground ball into center field for a base hit. Trammell will stop at second, so everybody moves up the station, and we have Glenn Wilson at the plate. Big Willie hit his 3rd home run yesterday. And as a reminder, the 1984 lefty-righty stats have updated here. So these are no longer looking at 83 for reference. These are in real time. First and second, 1 down. We're going to let Glenn Wilson take a cut. And he pops it up into foul ground on the third base side. Wade Boggs making the catch. 2 outs now for Ken Smith, and while I was prepping the work for today's game, I was watching the. If you look down here, you'll see the ticker, and it showed that Ken Smith is leading all of baseball in sacrifice flies with 5. So you might find that interesting. Here he is batting against John Tudor, lefty on lefty. 2-2 count, and Tudor strikes him out. We left 11 base runners yesterday, and There's 2 right there today, so not so great. Let's go to the bottom of the first inning. We'll take a look at the Red Sox lineup for today. Batting leadoff and DHing is Chico Walker. Batting second at second base is Marty Barrett. Batting third at third base is Wade Boggs. Batting cleanup, playing first base is Pat Dodson. Batting fifth in left field is Jim Rice. Batting sixth and catching is Geno PETRALLI. Batting seventh in right field is Clint Hurdle. Batting eighth at shortstop is Dickie THON. And batting ninth in center field is Shelle TARVER. Okay, we've got Bert on the mound. He had 2 great starts, and then he got crushed in his last one. He's 2-0 with a .391 ERA, 17 strikeouts in 23 innings pitched. I love that low walk number. Opponents are betting .244 against him. He does have a complete game shutout already this year. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. He's got 4 pitches in his arsenal, but the only decent one is the sidearm curve. Overall, he's rated an 80. The 33-year-old righty goes to free agency in 1986. If you look at his log, I mean, he had to get clobbered in the last game. He pitched a shutout in his first start. He only gave up 3 runs in his second start versus Cleveland. And then Milwaukee lit him up with 7 runs in 6 innings. And you can see his strikeout total going down. So I don't know what to expect today from him. This is a tough lineup, and this is one of those stadiums where left-handers can crush righties. So take a look at our defense. Solid all the way around, including Parrish back behind the plate. And Chico Walker leading off versus Bert Blyleven. Walker batting .411 with 4 home runs. He had a home run in yesterday's game. Skies it on the infield. TRAMMELL backpedaling into shallow left field to make the catch. 1 down. Here is Marty Barrett, also an effective hitter, batting .393, striking out on a changeup. I mean, you could pretty much say all Bert Blyleven has is changeups, but his best pitch is that curveball. 2 quick outs for Blyleven. Here is Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. Boggs batting .338, and he gets another hit. That moves his average to .347. So a runner on first, 2 down. Pat Dodson, he's having a good sophomore season, batting .288 versus righties. And he's got 4 home runs this year already. And Blyleven sets him down on that changeup. Nicely done. So both starting pitchers strike out 2 batters in the first. We go to the top of the second, and Chet Lemon leading off. Lemon just finally breaking out of his slump. Hits a ground ball to short for out number 1. Next up is Greg Brock. Look at Brock batting .462 versus lefties. That is insane. Oh man, Tudor blows it by him. An 85-mile-an-hour fastball. It's hard to say blow it by him, but nonetheless, Brock missed it. Here's my large adult son. Lance Parrish had a good game yesterday, getting his average up to 172. He goes to right field for a base hit. So this is the 3rd consecutive game that we've started Parrish, because it's been all lefties for Boston. They have 4 lefties in their rotation. Bob Ojeda is the other that we have not yet to see. So good job by Parrish. He's on first. And Sweetly Whitaker hits a ground ball to second. All right, so we strand another runner. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Jim Rice leading off. Rice batting .270, 3 home runs. Ground ball to short, and TRAMMELL makes the play. Blyleven looking okay so far. The catcher, Geno PETRALLI's up. Left-handed bat, batting .184 this year versus righties. Caught at the wall at the Green Monster by Kirk GIBSON. 2 quickies here for Blyleven, and Clint Hurdle's up. I love that Clint Hurdle, probably better known for being a manager and the number 1 overall draft pick. I like to see that he's actually having a career. I mean, he's only 26 years old, but if you look at what Kansas City tried to give him, and he was just not able to really find a place in their lineup, he was a number 1 overall pick, right? First round, yeah, just in the first round, I believe he was 1-1 that year. And that was the same draft as... No, it wasn't the same draft as George Brett. I can't remember my fact on that. There's something about that I can't recall. But anyway, yes, he was a first-round draft pick. I think he might have been 1 overall. Okay, we go to the top of the third as Hurdle grounds out, and we're back to the top of the lineup with Gibson. Gibson struck out to start off the ball game, and a ground ball to second. Tudor, he's going to be tough to beat today. He's got an 89 endurance, so he can go about 125 pitches as he jams TRAMMELL for out number 2. Here's Bert. Bert singled up the middle, first time up. And he goes right back through the box to get a base hit into center. So he's got 2 of the hits. Where would we be without George Brett today? Let's see if Glenn Wilson... We're going to let Glenn Wilson swing. Even though he's a good contact hitter, I think we saw yesterday when he swung and missed and Brett was thrown out, that maybe that's just not what he does well. There's a ground ball to short. Play made by Dickie. We go to the bottom of the third. With the Dickie leading off. THON batting 204 versus righties. It's a high fly ball into left. Gibson makes the easy catch. It's a can of corn. 1 down. TARVER up. TARVER, I mean, I could not have ever told you about this guy, but for whatever reason, he's a god in this game. He's batting .406, 2 home runs. He's got a ton of stolen bases. He's got another base hit there, and he digs it out for a double. Gibson, again, not a great fielder. That is his 4th double of the year. And a runner in scoring position for Chico Walker. It's like having back-to-back leadoff hitters with Tarver and Walker. So here's a real test for Blyleven. And Tarver steals third base on Bert. That is his 6th stolen base of the year. And the go-ahead run now is 90 feet away. We're going to pull Brett in to the grass. If Walker does go the other way, I think it'll hold Tarver, but we'll have to sacrifice a run for an out here otherwise. 2-1 count to Chico, and that should be deep enough to score Tarver. It is. 1-0 Boston. 2 down. Here is Marty Barrett. Speed kills, man. Tarver got that double and then stole third. Scored on a sac fly. Barrett base hit into center. All right, I don't like the way things are turning here as Wade Boggs steps in. And he pops it up at home plate. This could be an error. Nope, it will be caught by Parrish. Good job. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Ken Smith leading off. He struck out. First time up, 0-1 count. And he goes the opposite way for a base hit. Everything's falling in front of Jim Rice, and it's kind of the same situation. Ken Smith's speed is the same as Alan Trammell's, which is pretty good for a DH, and it's kind of about the same position. Do we take a chance here? Down a run? And it's the bottom of the lineup. I'm going to say yes. We're going to try it. He's out. God damn it. I don't know. Lemon swinging at a ball that's right in his eye line. 2 outs. Craig Brock will take a walk. Maybe Brock should be up in the 2nd spot again. I just don't want to start off a game versus a left-handed pitcher with 3 lefties. But Brock is a catalyst. All right, here's Lance Parrish. He has a hit. 2-1 count. And a ground ball to first. We strand another runner. We go to the bottom of the fourth, down a run. Pat Dodson leading off. 2-2 count. And Blyleven gets strikeout number 3. 1 out for Jim Rice. And he slaps it to right field for a base hit. 4th hit for the Red Sox today. Catcher PETRALLI's up. This is a great double play situation with Rice running and the catcher at the plate. 0-2 count. He pops it up. Is that going to fall in for a hit? Oh, that's a base hit. A little duck snort. Rice goes to third. And it's not looking so good here. We're going to pull the infield in. I don't think it's going to make a difference. Nope. 2-0. Oh, wow. Okay, Glenn Wilson just threw out PETRALLI at third. So we get an outfield assist of our own. Doesn't change the fact that they scored a run. 2 down. Here's Dickie. And another damn base hit. Come on. That's 7 hits now against Bert Blyleven. I don't understand, like, why. I mean, maybe it's because his movement is 64. Like, it just sits there, and I don't know. But, I mean, I know that's not a good number. You don't want that number for anything. There's a ground ball to third. I mean, short, I should say. And then it's out number 3. So, put another run on the board for the Red Sox. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Lou leading off. Lou is 0 for, is that an 8 or a 9? I think it's a 9. 0 for 9 and 2 walks against Tudor. Tudor leaves it high and outside, and Lou goes with it. Flying out to left field. 1 down. I guess we have too many lefties on our roster. Sometimes it's going to work out for us like it did the first 2 games of the series, and then other times you're going to get dominated. Yeah. Wow, we've got nothing today. I don't really regret Ken Smith getting thrown out at second. I think that just proves that we were not going to win this ball game. You know, like that was, you know, you kind of had to take a chance to see. Blyleven striking out Chico Walker. That's hard to do. 4th strikeout for Blyleven. He's yet to walk a guy. Barrett on a 2-2 count hits a comebacker to Blyleven. Out number 2. And Wade Boggs. He's 1 for 2 today. And a ground ball to TRAMMELL. And a 1-2-3 inning. That's exactly what Blyleven needed. We go to the top of the 6th. George Brett will lead off. Brett is 2 for 2 today. Lifts it to center. 347 feet, but easily catchable for Tarver. 1 out. Glenn Wilson at the plate. Ground ball to second. Yeah, we can't. Oh, well, they're going to give us an error on Barrett, the Gold Glove winner. All right. Is that his 2nd error this series? I think, like I said that already. So we have Wilson on first. Here's Ken Smith. We have no one to hit and run with in this game. Oh, wild pitch. Gets Wilson to second. Are they going to give us a run here? 2-0 count. Ground ball to first. That'll move Wilson to third for Chet Lemon. Lemon batting 200 versus the left-handers. 2-0 count to Lemon. Is that going to be off the wall? At the wall for out number 3. We're going to send Bert Blyleven out there. I know I have a history of pulling pitchers by the 5th inning, but Blyleven seems to be doing okay. The hit total, it doesn't make any sense, but this is a good team, and this is one of those stadiums, so just have to accept it. And come back from Dodson. Blyleven tosses him out. I think we just have to also, like, sometimes let our pitchers throw a few, you know. A line drive from Rice to Whitaker for out number 2. Blyleven. Back to back, 1, 2, 3 innings. Ground ball to third, good range. And Trammell makes the play. Okay, well, that's back to back 1, 2, 3 innings for Blyleven. We go to the top of the 7th. And Greg Brock will lead off. We got to get something going here, boys. There we go, the Brock Nest Monster over the Green Monster. Monster on monster violence. And it's 2-1 Detroit. I guess, is that the one run they're going to give us? That's the question. Let's see if Parrish has one for him here. Parrish almost over 200. Oh, weak sauce. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. A lot of comebackers in today's game. All right, 1 out. Here's Lou. Lou 0 for 10. Oh, it's a lob into left center field. And it does fall in for a hit. Whitaker, we're going for 2. Yes, Whitaker's safe for second. I didn't even take a minute to think about it. They showed it to me, and I said, we're doing it. Conviction, that's what I lack. 5 doubles now for Lou. He only had 14 last year, but he did have 26 home runs. So I wonder if this will be the year where they'll give him all doubles and no dongs. Okay, we have Whitaker in scoring position for Gibby. Gibby is hitting lefties pretty well this year. 0-1 count. Oh, that was a tough pitch to hit. And Whitaker was going, so it didn't even matter that we went for a double. We are definitely losing this ball game. 71% chance for Gibson to steal second. We may as well go for it. We might not get another runner today. Gibby's going right down the middle, and he's caught stealing. This is a loss. This is a loss. Send Blyleven back out there, the base hit. Yeah, that's the momentum shift. A double for Hurdle. His 4th of the year. Here's Dickie. A ground ball to second, getting Hurdle to third. Corners in. Well, we can pull the infield in. Infield in. Shelle Tarver at the plate. 0-1 count. And that's the ball game right there. Shelle Tarver driving in runs, and yet we're not getting it done. That makes no sense. Chico Walker, too much speed, no double play there as he grounds out to short, and Marty Barrett grounding out to second. All right. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. They're bringing in a reliever. It's Randy St. Clair, and Randy St. Clair has double-digit ERA. And if we look at his log, we beat him up pretty good in the first game of the series. And he's back to exact his revenge. That's the one thing this team, the Red Sox, does not have. They do not have a good bullpen. So let's see if we can capitalize. Starting with Trammell. There we go. That's a gapper. It's a single, though, right? Yeah, why? How is that? How is that a single? This game is not going to let us up from the canvas here. We're going to hit and run. A comebacker on a hit and run. Trammell does advance, but he'll probably get thrown out of third, right? And a pop-up. Will Ken Smith go deep? One swing of the bat will tie it up. Nope. Come on. Blyleven's at 103 pitches. We're going to take him out. Hang another loss on him. Gibson's not available, the creeper. I guess we bring in Keith Comstock. Man, we are really overusing these pitchers. This is his 9th game already. He has only thrown 6 2/3 innings. 10 strikeouts, that's amazing. And opponents are batting 167. Boggs is 1 for 5 versus Kami. Struck out twice. Ground ball to first. 1 out. Pat Dodson strikes out. That's not the first time they've faced each other. That's just dumb. Striking him out. And Jimmy Rice. Base hit to right. Oh yeah, they get the doubles, of course. Jim Rice's 5th double of the year. Lefty Geno PETRALLI striking out. Gosh, Comstock's got 12 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings. That's amazing. Okay, here comes Eckersley. Looking at his log so we get the combined totals here. 0-0. He's got 3 saves, 5 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. But opponents are batting .333 against him. You know, he's a side armor. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 41%. Fastball is rated an 87. He's got a curve and a slider. Overall at 83, the 29-year-old righty is making nearly $1 million. He goes to free agency in 1987. Now, was Eckersley a closer in 84? I can't remember. If you look at his stats here, you see he was a starter, and then when we started our sim, he was a closer. So I think that might have been, yeah, because I mean his endurance is 27, so that might be game, forced him into being a closer. Because I'm not sure he was a closer in 84, but that's not the point. The point is we're going down 1, 2, 3 here. Lemon, Brock. Well, Brock will take a walk. Second walk and a home run. He's definitely our player of the game. We cannot allow our large adult son to bat here. We will let Terry Kennedy bat, however. Runner on first. Terry Kennedy. This could be a double play to end the ballgame. Yep. Tigers lose 3-1. That was over in the first inning. It was a game we never had a shot. And a low-scoring game. We're back to 500. That is a bummer. And now we have a day off, so we are going to advance a day. Play 1 day. Are there any trade offers? It's simulating. Thinking about it. Maybe there's a trade from other. Oh, we do have a trade offer. Oh, the Expos keep coming back with this junk offer for Gumpy Gumpert, who, when they first offered it, I thought about it because Gumpert couldn't even make the team out of spring training. But now he's so reliable, I can't do the deal. So, sorry, not happening. Okay, let's take a look at the standings. Maybe some other teams made trades. Who knows? Philadelphia, looking at the National League here. Yeah, the game's always going to keep it close. San Francisco, 7 games back. Montreal's 8 games back. And then we're 9-9. And, I mean, look, our TBRA is 3.62. It's a whole run better than the American League average right now. I know that'll all even out, but, man, how does Oakland have a 3.30 ERA as a team? Oh, they got Denny Martinez. That's right. They signed him as a free agent to be their ace, to go with Mike Warren, who's 4-0. Larry White, 3-0. Mike Norris and Kurt Young. Do they have any injuries? No, they don't have any injuries. So that's their rotation. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at headline news. Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. Milwaukee defeats Toronto to move up in the standings. This is Rich Rodas. A 3-1 victory. Rich Rodas allowed 1 earned run. So it's back-to-back good starts for Rodas. He just clobbered us the other day, too. Terry McGriff didn't score. Okay, yeah. All right. Next, Azador smashes 3 home runs. Oh my gosh. Randy Azador had a triple dong day. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Azador. So that's 4 home runs total. He had 3 home runs, 6 RBI, 4 hits, scored 4 runs. He got hit by a pitch, which he deserved, I think. Huh. Well, there you go. There's our first 3 home run performance of the year. Transactions, anything of note? Yes. Wow. Okay, there's a lot. Oh, so Mike Chris, after losing to us, signed a 4-year extension for $320,000. We're going to go ahead and have to update his contract to show a major league deal. We just did a deep dive on him. Otis Nixon of the Yankees, the center fielder, is going to miss 4 months. He had 84 stolen bases last year for the Yankees, and he had 6 this year. We'll take a look and see who's going to play center field for them. And then Mike Rowland for the Giants is going to miss 8 days. He is a starter on that team. He's a 31-year-old starter. Oh, my gosh. He must be like the 5th starter. And then Dennis Leonard is going to miss 8 days. He is barely holding on. He did have a card that year, though. And he's 2-1. Well, that's pretty good. So he's just going to miss a start. Who's going to be the Yankees center fielder? That is the question. We're going to take a look. Lineup. Center field is going to be Lee Mazzilli. So the old standby will step in. And that, does that change your lineup? No, look at that. They put Ozzy. I love this lineup now. That's actually the way the lineup should be. Why? I don't know why they didn't have that when we played them. So that looks pretty good. Oh, wait, who's the center fielder? Oh, yeah. Rupert Jones. Okay, so they're going to platoon that position with Rupert Jones in center field versus righties, and then Lee Mazzilli will come in there as a switch hitter and bat versus lefties. And they called up, who did they call up from the minor leagues? Kiko Garcia? I guess it's Kiko. All right. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and or subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with the series versus the Yankees. So that's who we're going to play next. That's going to be a tough one. We are in a tough division this year. Player of the game is going to be Greg Brock. He did only have 1 hit. It was the home run. It was their only run. But he walked twice. And that's saying something against John Tudor, who was efficient today. Whitaker got a double. Greg Brock hit a 2nd home run. Bert Blyleven, kind of a hard luck loss. I mean, he only gave up 3 runs. He didn't walk anybody. Gave up 9 hits. Comstock came in and struck out 2. Comstock, maybe going to the All-Star game. John Tudor gets his 3rd win. He was very good. He had to get that ERA down, too. It was 6.64 coming into the game. So I think the game probably did that to him. Probably also allowed Randy St. Clair to pitch an inning where he didn't give up a run. And then Eckersley came in to get his 4th save. It's all a conspiracy. All right, that's going to do it. We'll see you later on today with game 157 of the 1969 Seattle Pilots what-if scenario. Will we go to the playoffs? We're losing people to injuries. It's going to be tight down the stretch here, these last 7 games. Until then, everyone, have a great day.